When you're applying for citizenship and you get citizenship, there is no definite timeline by when you're going to get this. And in some cases, people already have travel plan or they have to travel urgently to India, even at short notice around this time when they have acquired citizenship. So in that case, what is the best way to go ahead? In that case, apply for e-visa. You don't have to surrender your India passport to get e-visa. I've made a detailed video on how to apply for the e-visa, which is a short-term visa and a long-term visa both. So you will get to know how this is done. E-visa usually takes 1 to 4 days. If you apply, you get that within these many days. In case there is an exigency, in case there is a family emergency, they also give this instantly. You will be able to figure out once you go and start filling the application. So once you have this e-visa, you can travel to India with your foreign passport. In case you are Canadian, with your Canada passport. If you are from US passport, UK, British passport, etc., etc. When you're traveling to India, you carry your India passport. You don't use India passport for the travel. You carry it and absolutely this is okay. Once you're in India, then you go through the surrender of India passport process with the RPO. So here, instead of the service provider in the country where you are, you will be doing this with the RPO in India. It costs much less. I made a video. I think it's around 500 rupees. And you need to have your cancelled voter ID, ration card, and also a statement that you don't have any saving bank account. So again, it's a detailed video. You can go and check. You need to dedicate at least 1 to 4 physical days of visit. In some cases, it happens within a day. In some cases, it happened with 2 visits. In rarest of case, it has taken 4 days. So just remember that it could take about 1 to 4 days of the process time. You can watch the video, you'll get the idea of how it is done. Also, the fee what you pay is significantly less. I don't exactly remember now. It's either 500 rupees or 1500. You can check the video where you will get those details. Now that you have surrender certificate from India and you had gone on e-visa, once you're back to the country, you can apply for OCI. Remember, it will take 4 to 6 week timeline once you apply. On e-visa, you cannot apply for OCI in India. You need to have a long-term visa and a stay of 180 days of physical stay in India before you can apply for OCI. So with e-visa, that is not possible. So in case you want to extend staying in India, then you have to convert your e-visa to X1 visa, and this happens at FRRA, Foreign Regional Registration Office. So this is the place where you go and hand over your e-visa, which is a temporary visa, and then you tell them the intention of staying for long and you pay the prescribed fee. You get the X1 visa, which is a long stay visa for you to stay in India. This information I'm sharing with confidence because I personally know someone who has done this recently. He got his citizenship and immediately after getting his Canada passport, he flew back to India on e-visa. He immediately surrendered e-visa at FRRO and has got his X1 visa. He's waiting to complete 180 days of stay in India to apply for OCI in India. And again, that OCI process will happen at FRRO in India. The other option is that you apply for the long stay visa, that is X1 visa from the country where you are, and then you go through the surrender process. I have shown you the surrender process, how it can be done under various scenarios. And then after waiting for 180 days in India, physically staying in India, you can apply for OCI at FRRO. This year, for a brief period, Canadian nationals were not getting any visa. It was for a very brief period, which I'm sure you would be aware of. And there were few people who had firm travel plan, but without applying for e-visa, it was difficult for them to travel. In that case, they carried both their Canada passport and India passport. They traveled from Canada to India on their India passport because they had recently acquired citizenship. They took their India passport and once they landed in India, they surrendered that India passport with the RPO. Once they did a surrender, again, there's a detailed video. A lot of people shared their experience, thanks to all of you, on how the process was in different geography. And once they had done with the surrender at RPO, then they applied for exit visa with FRRO. That was one additional process which had to be done because your Canadian passport did not have any visa. Remember, you were traveling with two different passport, Canada and India passport. So once they did the update, they got the exit visa. Then with that exit visa, they traveled back to Canada. And then after landing, they went ahead with the OCI service here in Canada. People had different experience. In most of the cases, no penalty was paid. In some cases, depending on different FRROs, people had to pay the penalty, but they eventually got the exit visa and they have applied for OCI after coming to Canada. So this must only be used under extreme condition when you have no other possibility, even taking e-visa. E-visa is the easiest one. You apply and you get that within 1 to 4 days. Some of them who were not aware that they had to take exit visa from FRRO, when they were trying to fly out of India, they were denied boarding and then they had to wait, get this process done and then fly out of India. So make sure you follow the right procedure. There is also a lot of curiosity on how to acquire Indian citizenship again. So it is very much possible. I made a detailed video on the entire step just to give you an overview. First criteria you need to meet is that you need to be an OCI for 5 years and 1 year continuously you should have stayed in India just before applying for the citizenship. So the process you do in this website, again I have covered the process in detail. And once you apply, what all steps you have to follow, what all happens, everything in detail I have covered. It could take at least say 3 to 5 years for the entire process to happen after you apply. And this includes you handing over your current passport, then you get your India passport and all those details. So you can watch the video to get those details.